Is that what? You said go on yellow? Cool, thanks, bro.
Hello and welcome to the Janaea Netball Centre for the Netball New South Wales Premier League semi-finals. I'm Brittany Carter. Tonight we have the major semi-final of the Under-20s League on Bar TV. Minor premiers North Shore United facing GWS Fury, the runners-up in the regular season. Throughout Premier League history, you can't split these two teams. They've always won one game each, but that changes tonight. Let's take a look at the teams. For North Shore United, Nadia McDonald, the coach, has got Isabella Ward in goal shooter, Natalie Sligo paired with her in goal attack, Gemma Donoghue in wing attack, Eliza Burton in centre, Amy Sligo wing defence, Dakota Thomas in goal defence, and Madison Ward rounds out the side in goalkeeper. Now for GWS Fury, Kath Tetley, their coach, has got Lauren Woods in goal shooter, Emily Dunn goal attack paired with her in the shooting circle, Courtney Castle in wing attack out front, Taylor Flood, the captain, is in centre, Alicia Parrott in wing defence, Sarah Ockenbaugh in goal defence, and Violet Wetstein at the back in goalkeeper. Now we're really excited tonight because for the very first time we're joined by New South Wales Swifts defender Maddie Turner. Hello, Maddie.
Hello.
Welcome to Premier League.
Thanks for having me.
Are you excited about this?
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Good time to come for finals.
As we see Taylor Flood with the ball first for Fury. Now in this under-20s clash we're expecting some nerves to kick off at the start, especially because it's semi-finals now. And we see it straight up, foot race for the ball. But GWS come up with it first, and Castle switches, swings the circle. An easy little feed down below.
Bit unlucky there, I think.
Geez, it's chaos early, isn't it, Maddie? Up and over, Woods. Good balance. Oh, and the pass. One-footed at the top. And now she's in front, and she'll score the first goal of the under-20s semi-finals here, 2018. Smart work from Sligo. Ward, a fair way out. Has to go back to the top of the circle. Instead, they go to Sligo, who puts it up, misses, but manages to get the rebounds. 1-1. It's really nice to see such a big crowd here, Maddie, for this game.
You know, it's good for the under-20s to get such a big crowd, and I feel like there's a few more orange in the crowd, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's heaps of orange people here tonight. Ward with a throw-in. Pushing into the mid-court now. There's a little bit of a collision. Flood will be pulled up. Coming back, Donoghue looks to feed. Oh, it's not good, the pass. Wetstein's on it, but she's given it back to North Shore. And they'll get another opportunity to go here. Nobody wanted that ball, Maddie, over the back line.
I know, almost should have left it, I think, the one before that. Should have been their throw-in.
So something we've seen with Ward in goal shooter is that she's not confident enough to take a long-range or mid-range shot. So they're really going to have to get it to her under the post. It's mid-range now, confident enough to put it up. So United hit the lead with the centre up their sleeve. Oh, Ockenbaugh wins the ball. But it's free. Thomas picks it up. Burton, quick footwork. Gives it to Donoghue. Lightning fast in centre. Shot missed, but she'll get another opportunity. G United have come out all guns blazing, Maddie. Up and over the top. Flood to the top of the circle. Dunn looks to feed. Woods strong enough to find the ball. And just on the side, she's got an easy shot. So Fury come back. Straight out for the centre pass. They go laterally. And now pushing towards the circle. Up and over, a lovely feed. Burton to Ward and through the net. Collision. Goes against GWS. What do you think about that call?
It's always nice when the defender gets the call for once, I think.
We're allowed to be a little bit biased with you here tonight, especially for defenders. In the pocket now, Burton goes straight to Ward. She's getting plenty of attention at the back. Sligo does well on the rebounds. What's been the difference so far early on? Because we've seen United take a turnover and now hit the front. They're up by 3.
Yeah, I think GWS actually have had the cleaner passages of play, but they just haven't been able to, score off their own set of passes. They might get this one back, though.
A brilliant intercept from Wetstein sees GWS pick up possession. Ockenbaugh to Paro. Oh, and it's a step. Coach Killer coming back now. Sligo to Donahue. Has the patience to look over her player. Ward again not confident with the position. And Wetstein will take a throw, and it looks like her foot was over the back line. Paro to Ockenbaugh. Coming across court now. They come back to Taylor Flood. And they're stuck in their defending goal third. Oh, ball ends up with Burton.
They're doing a nice press there through the midcourt.
Tell us about that. What does that mean?
I think everyone's just taking up a bit of space. They're not playing man on man, so GWS found it hard to get through there and, ended up getting a turnover.
So smart play early from United. Ward coming through as a decoy. They'll find Sligo at the back. She's still a fair way from the post. Penalty to be taken on the edge of the circle. Nice confidence, offloading to Ward. And United hit 6. Flood has to look towards the defenders for the centre pass. This time done on the outside channel. Oh, she goes back to Ward. Different coloured dress. Orange to yellow. And I think panic is just starting to take hold of Fury early on, Maddie.
Yeah, definitely. It's always nice when a shooter can get an intercept as well.
So Ward, again, a fair way out, but she's looking to go to the post, which is more confidence than we've seen from her in the past few games. And confident enough to go back in there for the rebound too. That's so important.
Yeah, definitely. I think without that scoreboard pressure, she'll keep putting up the shots, and I think she'll find a bit more accuracy as well.
Gee whiz, Wetstein is on fire. Coming back now. Hart gets a little helping hand. Burton's got a tip to it, but the throw-in will be Fury's. Flood over the top of her head to Dunn. Oh, smart play. Woods just had the better of Ward then in a nice position.
Yeah, she held nice and strong. It was hard for the keeper to get around.
Oh, strong pass into the middle, but it's over a third as far as I can tell. Step. Gee, I haven't been keeping count of these turnovers, but there's been so many, Maddie.
Bit of netball tennis.
Dunn, drop pass to the captain. And now they find Woods strong at the back, who won't miss. She's very accurate. Fury coming back within 3. Shonky looking pass, but Sligo's able to keep it in play. And within possession of United, Donahue skipping up towards the circle. And Ward a fair way out. That's the confidence she needs to take. Lovely swish shot. Castle, long ball to Woods. Oh my goodness. Fury, they're not going to go down lying. Burton just putting it up. A nice little play from United. Something you'd expect with their target at the back, but you wouldn't expect Wetstein to then throw it through. Oh my goodness, what is going on? Everyone needs to just take a breath. The ball's come off Ockenbaugh's feet, and United somehow have the ball. Sligo 1-2 with Burton. Oh, crazy passage of play. How do you describe that, Maddie?
I think that was all nerves just then.
Nice work, driving back Dunn. It's a fair way out from the post. She'll edge a little closer with the penalty too. Fury players on the bench keen to see what's happening with their side. Burton inside channel switches the circle. There's been a lot of flair about United's play early on, Maddie.
Yeah, they're mixing it up, but they're not afraid to put it in either, which sometimes pays off.
Oh my goodness! Somehow United have held on to possession. There seems to be a penalty given, and Sligo gets the job done in the end. Now, while it's true the under-20s are very unpredictable, this is just something else. The nerves are really setting in this first 15. It's making for an exciting game, though. Good strong hand from Ward, pushing the ball over the back line. Then a penalty given on the edge. And now inside. Held ball. Or contact call. I'm not sure what went on there. A stepping call too, gee. Coming through, Castle with a strong drive. She comes back to Parrott. Now Flood gets it to Woods. A lot more composure in that set of play. Go defence. A few players on the poster there. Parrott with the penalty to Flood. They go to Ockenball. The pass overhead is not good, and by keeping it in place, she's given it to Dakota Thomas. I'm just getting a good look at this crowd now, Maddie, and you're right, it is covered in orange. There's barely yellow inside. There's a feather boa at the back with a blue sparkly hat, but that's about it. Even behind us, there's plenty of orange. Oh, what a shot. Castle round the body of a player. Dunn goes to the pocket. And now they've found Woods inside, who goes around the rim and through. Now, the last time these two played, back in round 9, Lauren Woods was the most dominant shooter on the court. She scored 41 goals and only missed 4, which meant she had accuracy at 91%. And the next best was Matisse Leatherborough, who isn't on court at the moment, but we may see later tonight. Someone that's very accurate, playing across the Opens and Under-20s League. But right now, Parrott's got the ball for the Fury. And she's come to Flood on the inside. Dunn, 1 foot inside the circle, goes to the top. And now to the call goes against, hand call goes against Ward. So 3 the difference. I feel like 3 has been a buffer most of this 15.
Yeah, the Giants haven't cracked that 3 yet. Hopefully we can get a turnover here.
Sligo, one-handed, grabbing through the net. What are your thoughts early, Maddie?
I don't think either team's settled yet. I think, yeah, GWS are having nice passage of play until now. But, yeah, North Shore United are finding a way to score, which is what happens in finals, I guess.
So United come into this match having lost... Oh, wow, Paro in the air. Vision. Well beyond her years as we see Thomas with a tip to the ball disrupting the play. Sligo, strong shoulder pass into Ward. And the throw-in goes to United. Our umpires tonight, Tamara Wellsford and Shauna Winchester. The reserve, Carly Mulcair. Oh, sandwich, Donahue. Flood makes waste no opportunity with time. And now they've already moved up to the shooting circle, done a fairway out. It is very loud in here at the show court, and it's quite hot, Maddie. This venue seems to be either very hot or very cold. There's no in between.
Definitely not. Maybe they can turn on the fans for them.
Swinging to Burton, she's now in the pocket, and Ward does well to find backspace, and then the net. Flood to Castle, who's straight out on the side. Fury just edging towards the post. Starting to slow the play and control it a little more as they go down to Dunn and then up to Woods. Back within 3. We've got 35 seconds till the first break in this semi-final match. So United come into this match having lost last week against the Sparks. As we see Ockenbaugh with the outside palm. There's no time to explain the backstory to you guys because there's just so much action happening. Donahue to Burton. And now Ward, a fair way up but nicely positioned in front. Takes United to 15. 4 seconds on the clock. Fury look to score. Woods can't hang on to the ball as it sails over the back line. And after a chaotic first period of play, United are up by 4 goals. Gee, my palms are sweating, Maddie. I just can't believe how frantic this first 15 minutes has been.
It still was pretty high scoring considering how much the ball went up and down the court, but yeah, I think whatever team settles the quickest in the next quarter could have the game won.
Has there been anyone that stood out for you so far in terms of a player?
I think both shooters have been holding really well, and yeah, shooting and the rebounds have been awesome. So yeah, I think it is a defensive game at the moment, but if the shooters keep scoring and just, yeah, they've got to get the ball to them, I think.
Most of the turnovers seem to be happening in this middle third of the court and then also just on the transverse lines heading into the goal third. So it seems as if the players can get them right to the post, they're okay. Once they're inside the shooting circle, the danger seems to be less so. But what's happening in this mid-court? Nerves is obviously playing a part, but can you describe sort of what's going on and why there's so much ball being lost in this section of the court?
I think the passages are a bit long, and I think if they shorten up a bit, there'll be less defenders getting in the way and then less turnovers, hopefully.
So nice, easy, safe passes coming forward for it?
Yeah, I think there's also a bit of hesitancy in both teams as well. So some short passes, but yeah, let it go as well.
All right, well, we're buzzing here on the show court on Bar TV for the first semi-final clash of the 2018 season. Fury heading over to the bench. They must be declaring some changes, and so is North Shore. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. GWS are facing a little bit of a battle with fatigue, though, today, because 4 of their girls have been playing today in the Open Combined High Schools competition down in the Illawarra. They played the final, and then they're playing the semi tonight at 7 p.m. So Westfield Sports High School was a favourite to make it into the grand final. And the 4 players included in that were Courtney Castle, Lauren Woods, Monique Clifton and Sarah Ockenbaugh. So 3 of those players are already out on court. And we can confirm that the Hills won that game by 2 against Westfields. And it was an overtime game. So very exciting for these young players, but surely they've got to be careful with fatigue in this match too.
Yeah, I'm sure they're hoping this one doesn't go to overtime as well.
So with United up by 4 goals, we might take a quick break just before we come back for the second quarter. You can see our friends with the yellow feather boa on. She's got another friends with her in red. But we'll be back for the second quarter very shortly. Stick with us. Heading back out for the second quarter of this semi-finals Samsung Premier League clash in the under-20s. We're expecting changes, but just waiting for everyone to come out in court. However, GWS, they remain unchanged. Contest early, Parrott keeping the ball in play. Dunn to Castle coming forward. And now they find Woods, who is able to get a strong hold around Ward, despite a physical contest. They'll take the ball at the top of the court. And with a split stance, Wood, nice and strong. She looks very confident, Maddie.
Yeah, I think she needs to take some long shots, though, to make the defenders feel pretty bad as well.
Now, when it comes to United, there actually are no changes for them as well. So both teams must have just stuck with the starting 7, confident that they'd settled down. Dunn puts a lovely shot up, but then both shooters go for the same ball. Castle shows a level head in grabbing the loose pass. And now with a penalty, they decide to go with the easy option in Dunn. Woods, split stance, goes to the side. And Fury go back-to-back in the second quarter. Is it important for United to score off this passage of play?
Yeah, definitely. Otherwise, I think GWS could really have a go at this quarter.
Poor Gemma Donahue has been sandwiched about 5 times already. Now Sliger inside the circle, mid-range, misses, but Ward just on the side is reliable enough to get the rebounds. Pushing back out to 3 goals. Fury centre, cut and dry from both attackers, but they can't get forward and they have to go back to the defenders. Castle on the transverse line. Elects to go over the top to the pocket. Captain keeps it in play. Waits for Dunn. Just using the full 3 seconds before making a decision, but the step will give United possession. And Flood trying to win it back. Unfortunately, can't keep it in play. Sligo to Thomas. Now Burton will come back. Playing a possession game. Through the middle. Oh, and over the top of the defenders and shooters' heads. United to Donahue. Ah, the pass, the feed, no good. So all that build up for nothing, Maddie.
And it feels like a while since someone scored.
And if both teams could just take that, here we go. Done underneath, Woods with the assist. And all of it,
it's a no goal.
No goal. It's very hard to keep track of what's happening because it is chaos out on court and the crowd is so loud here. The intensity is lifted. You're having a little chuckle to yourself, Maddie. I don't know if you expected to see this in your first game of Premier League tonight.
No, it's great. It's great to see defenders getting the ball so much.
Sliger to Donahue. So Fury have scored 3 goals to United's 1. And another opportunity goes wanting for them. The passing just really needs to tighten up for the girls in yellow. Castle, unfortunately, lets go of the ball. Burton, 1, 2, 3 with Sliger. And now at the top, Donahue goes straight into the other twin sister.
You want to frame that a bit better?
Now I'm going to try and give you some context before action starts back up. So United, minor premiers, did lose last week, but they had enough points far in front at the top of the ladder that it didn't matter what happened in their game against the Sparks. The Sparks finished 5th, but were able to finish the season on a high, beating United. So that was a pretty big loss, and Nadia McDonald, their coach, said that they're very convinced that they're starting with a clean slate for the semi-finals, just forgetting about last week and focusing on all the positives. As we see Burton try to give the ball to Donahue, but despite a height difference, Parrott's beating her in the air, Maddie.
Yeah, I think she's really contesting the ball and having a go, which is good to see for a wing defence.
Alicia Parrott from Jervis Bay with a 6-hour round trip to come to training and games every week. Now United with the reliable Sligo. And the ball just teasing them comes out of Ward's hands into Ockenball's and drawing a foul. Fury will now take a penalty. Parrott sees Flood. The passing to Ockenball has not been particularly good tonight.
Yeah, I think again they're just going too long. They need to shorten it up through the middle, make sure he can get to their goalies.
She's either mistiming her jump or the ball is just sailing over her head as we see Fury again turn it over. Little tip from Thomas, keeps the ball alive for United. Denies the Fury a chance at goal. Burton up the outside channel. Sligo, strong pass to Donahue, and they go up in the air all the way to Ward. At the back line, swish straight through. United now in front by 4 with a centre to play with here. Donahue, oh, so brave. She's been sandwiched again so many times tonight, and it doesn't look like it's going to stop happening. Now Ward's on a roll. Now when it comes to the Fury season, they've had a bit of an up and down one. They did win 5 games in a row in the middle of the season, but they come into this match having won their last 2. And one of them was really important 2 weeks ago against the Central Coast Heart, who are playing up against the Sapphires on another court in the minor semi-final. The score currently there, 17-14 Stingrays way. But what it allowed them to do, all right, that's the Opens up there. So that's the Opens playing up there now. But what the game against Central Coast that they won, what they were able to do is they were able to push up into the top 2 spot, which meant with a win last week that they were able to stay top 2 and come into this major semi-final. And that's massive, especially at this time in the competition, Maddie, because as you know, it means you get a second chance, right, if you lose this game.
Yeah, I think the second chance is massive, and I think being under 20s and not having too much experience in finals, it's good to have that double chance and not so much pressure riding on one match.
So the ever-reliable Woods misses the shot. It comes over the top and over to Thomas. And now United keen to convert. They're all the way up to their goal third quickly. And they'll take the biggest lead they've had so far this match. 6 goals, 21-15, 7.5 to a half-time. Sligo with the penalty goes to Burton. They're swinging the circle. Ward confident enough calling for it. And she is on a roll.
I think she's found her eye now.
Strong pass, Flood to Dunn. Now just inside the goal third, they creep towards the post. Lovely work from Castle over the top of the defender. They're still relying on those long passes you spoke about, Maddie, though.
Yeah, I think they're lucky that they have such a strong holding shooter.
On the edge, Burton switches and goes to the back. It ends up with Donahue on the other side of the circle. Oh, and the pass from Sligo to Ward. Great understanding. To the top, they go the triangle. And now Sligo's going to have a shot at it, a fair way out.
Yeah, we'll come to
Dunn to Castle, up and over. There's a chant going in the crowd. And it looks like it's in United's favour. So despite having, held ball, the pressure, building up against the Fury, maybe the chant works, Maddie. They should keep doing it.
I think it's one family doing the chant.
Well, they're loud enough to take over the rest of the Orange Army here. On the edge, great hands from Donahue. And now Sligo, very reliable with the shot. So you might know that if you haven't watched the United game so far this season, you might hear me saying Sligo and Ward a lot. And that's because Nat Sligo, Amy Sligo are twin sisters. And you've also got Isabella Ward and Madison Ward at either ends of the court, who are sisters to defence and shooter. As we see Fury building nicely towards the goal, but they can't keep it in play. It's come out the back. But what's so special about this United team, and I think this is why we've seen them win so many games this season. They were undefeated right up until round 8, before they had a little slump in form. Ward with another shot, is they've got 6 players in the New South Wales under-17s team. Amy and Nat make up 2 of those. Their coach is assistant for the New South Wales under-17 squad. Eliza Burton plays for ACT under-19s. They've got 3 players rather, in the Australian under-17 squad, and 4 players named in the 2018 talent development squad. So there is a lot of upcoming talent there.
They definitely didn't come into the match underdogs, that's for sure. No. Sounds of that.
But what's interesting is they did lose that match to the Sparks last week, who haven't had such a great season. So United sort of just struggle sometimes with that consistency. When they're brilliant and on song, they're very hard to beat. But consistency for the full 4 quarters is sometimes what they've lacked. However, they've got a nice strong lead at the moment, up by 8, with another opportunity to go 1 more on the scoreboard. Sligo to Donahue, despite a heavy contest from Parrott. Looking to feed now, split stance on the baseline. They swing the circle. That was smart from Donahue not to give up and to still provide an option. Oh, but GWS, they say no way. Ockenbaugh driving into backspace. They push up inside the inside channel. Dunn runs into the hands of Sligo. And again, we see a change in possession. Sligo, strong pass to her twin. On the edge now, they find Ward. High five between the 2 shooters. So we're going to see a change. Taylor Flood, the captain, coming off. Courtney Castle is going to push into centre. And I believe this is Monique Clifton coming out on wing defence. Wing attack, rather, sorry. In the orange dress, just grabbing the ball now. What do you think the reason is behind that change? Fresh legs?
Yeah, maybe the fresh legs after playing netball all day. Give someone else a go as well. And I guess they are nearly down by 10 here, so going to make the changes early, give them a better shot later in the game.
Dunn hustled out of the chance to get a nice position for the shot, but she does finish it off. In the air, United to Donahue. They skip over the mess. Burton on the edge finds Ward, both shooters in the same space. And that's a problem when you don't have anyone to take the rebound, Maddie.
Yeah, they're both on the same side of the post there, so no one to get it when it went over.
Castle to Clifton, who creates something out of nothing, but by accident gives the ball to Ward. I think the defenders have been a real standout so far. There's been so much turnover. The attack really needs to hang on to it, don't they?
Yeah, it's been good to watch the defenders have a crack, and there's a lot of girls coming off there and players to have a fly, which is good to see.
Now, I believe that ball came off a Fury hands, but it has gone their way when it comes to the throw-in, and United fans aren't happy about it here. Clifton, long ball, floating over the top to Dunn. They come back towards the middle. Eliza Burton pulled up out of play. Clifton to the edge. Oh, the contact is not great. They'll hold time with 1:52 on the clock before half-time. Woods is smothered, but GWS able to get it to Dunn with a second phase play. And Dunn's been a pretty big standout too, hasn't she? At the start, we saw Lauren Woods really take initiative and the dominance in that circle, but Dunn's really stood up and started to take some of that load, Maddie.
Yeah, I think it's good. better balance as well.
Definitely less predictable for United's defence. As we see, Fury hit 20. They're back within 6. Six goals is nothing.
No, and I think that if the crowd can get into a bit more from the GWS side.
Oh. Gee, Donaghy's a tough cookie. She is the taller of the two, but she is copping a hiding tonight in that matchup. Farah, a little tap on the back, sorry.
I think she's hit the ground more than Maddie Proud has.
There was a great montage of Maddie hitting the ground at the New South Wales Swiss Gala dinner, and it just went on forever. Apparently, they didn't even use the full footage they had.
I think she's realised that it's not actually her getting pushed over, it's just her falling now.
Oh, and with 30 seconds, we thought to play, maybe that time is wrong. Everyone's high-fiving at half-time, so 27-20. Bizarre here because the clock reads 15 seconds, but we're going to go with what's happening on court. So United up by 7 goals, and they're really getting that chant going. I think you're right. I think it is that one passionate family. Oh, there we are. Hello, everyone. What are your thoughts about this match, Maddie?
I think North Shore United did kind of win that quarter by a fair bit, but GWS keep fighting, and I think if they keep having to go and close that score up in the third quarter, it could be anyone's game.
So 12 goals to 9, United outscoring the Fury by 3 in that 15 minutes of play. So what's interesting is last year GWS were knocked out of the semis, but United were knocked out of the semis in 2016. So neither of them have progressed further than that before, and they will do tonight because of their placings in 1 and 2. No matter what happens, one of them will play in the preliminary finals next week. I mentioned at the start of the commentary that if you look at history between these two teams, you can't split them. They've both won 3 games out of the 6, and every season they've gone 1-2, trading wins. But that will change tonight, considering this is the 3rd game they've played in 2018. Ockenborg just receiving some attention on the massage bench. Are you expecting any changes from either side, Maddie?
Yeah, I think by the looks of it, we have another shooter pressing some goals in there. I think that's Matisse.
There we go. Very accurate. It was massive for the New South Wales Waratahs in the ANL this season. And I mentioned before she's been playing across the Opens and Under-20s League. Very accurate. You can see even from long range she's able to get the shot.
She's not afraid to take a long shot as well, which I think is important since the ball is struggling to find its way to the goal.
Well, you need to have the confidence to shoot from anywhere in a chaotic game like this. And there's no time for hesitation. The last time GWS came up against Matisse Leatherbarrow, she shot 18 goals and she only played half the game at 78%. So she'll be one to watch and someone that they need to shut down at the back. A pretty tall target too, considering she's only 16 years old, Maddie.
Yeah, I think I had to play her in one practice match.
How did you go against her?
I felt old against her, and I'm only 22.
And how do you match up height-wise?
I think she is taller than me, which is not very fair because she's only 16 years old.
I wonder if the bun helps a little bit, although you wear your hair in a bun too, don't you?
Yeah, I have to go the bun, definitely.
It's a bit deceiving when it comes to the height, gives you that little bit of an advantage. Again, looking back at their last clash, Fury and United, as we see Nadia McDonald giving her team a bit of a talking to. And the shooters, Sligar and Leatherbarrow, about to team up for this third quarter. So round 9, it was 13-all at half-time at the first break. Then GWS were up by 10 at half-time, 28-18. They were up 41-34 at three-quarter time, and then took the match 53-48 at full-time. So for the Fury, their best quarter was the second, with Wood shooting 13 out of 13 at 100%. North Shore were forced to make 2 changes during that quarter because of the pressure that United were able to, unfortunately, succumb to. And then United's best quarter was the third quarter with Leatherbarrow coming on. She shot 10 out of 13 attempts. And Sophie Dixon played a big role in that quarter too, 6 from 6, playing a bit of a moving shooter. So at the moment, they've really got, before they've made that change, with Ward at the back, a strong target, and Slager trying to set Ward up every time. But we mentioned that Leatherbarrow will shoot from all areas of the circle, so they're going to try up a moving circle now, Maddie. What do you think that will do against GWS?
I think a moving circle is exciting. I actually like playing a moving circle. I feel like there's more opportunity to kind of have a go and go for some flying intercepts and more specky takes.
It makes it a bit more difficult though, doesn't it?
Yeah, if they can move the ball quickly around and get the defenders' heads turning, it will make it hard for them.
So something that I've heard from a lot of the Swifts and Giants girls that have done commentary for us is it's all about confusing the space. So is that a big part of a moving shooting circle when it comes to defence?
Sure. Yeah, I guess so. I think working together more, I think the shooters will try and split the defenders so they can't work together. So I think, yeah, if the shooters can do that, then they'll get the upper hand.
All right, now there's been some massive announcements for netball in general the last week. We saw Lisa Alexander extend her contract today by 1 year. So she'll be with the Australian team till 2020, and she'll actually have the longest tenure as coach as anyone's ever had for the Australian Diamonds team. What do you think about Lisa Alexander? She's sort of been a bit of a powerhouse in that role for such a long time.
Yeah, definitely, and I think it'll be just interesting to see how they go at World Cup, and I think it's great that other countries are kind of up and coming and challenging Australia for that top spot.
Yeah, we're definitely in that Commonwealth Games final. I think everyone was a little shocked to see England take it out, but I've spoken to some of the other Swifts girls, especially Kate Eddy, about this, and it's really difficult for you guys now because obviously your roots are Australian, but you're playing with an English woman in Housby. She was able to shoot the final goal that was so exciting and, you know, got the whole sports world talking, David Beckham and everyone else that jumped on board supporting her. Is it really difficult watching those matches now, deciding where your allegiances lie?
Yeah, I think so. I think we like to go for players now, so you can support Helen and Nat when they're playing rather than teams.
And that's one of the big things that Super Netball has done, hasn't it? It's really promoted the international players across all the different countries now. And so, you know, when the World Cup happens, I feel like we're going to know half the players now. They're not all going to be unknowns.
You know, it makes netball exciting, and I think it's just going to make it more attracting to everyone around Australia.
So United in a nice little huddle. Someone's got their finger up her nose. Maybe there's a bit of blood. I believe that's the physio there up Slager's nose. At the other side, GWS, pretty vocal. They remain unchanged from the second quarter, currently down by 7 goals. And United, they've brought on Charlotte Rayleigh in goalkeeper. We mentioned Matisse Leatherbarrow in goal shooter. So just changing the bookends. Slager, long ball at the back, in the air, Burton to Leatherbarrow. And we see the impact that this shooting circle can have early on. Turnover through Wetstein. Definitely a contender for player of the match. Clifton goes round the body of a player back to Ockenbaugh. Their hands over the passes have been really good from United.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. They've had some really strong hands over, and they're getting lots of touches.
As we just see Donahue almost steal it from their clutches. Clifton will take a throw in. Baseline outside the circle. Rayleigh able to steal the ball and keep it in play. 1 foot in the court. That's impressive. In the midcourt, 360. Thomas goes to Burton. They find Slager inside the goal third. And they try to reset. Clifton has come offside. for her wing attack position. So United just inside the goal third. Sligo over the top. One-handed grab by Leatherbarrow. And she's 2 from 2. Fury yet to score in this third quarter. The championship quarter, as they like to call it, Maddie. Up and over, Castle tries to give it to Woods. And as soon as she threw the pass, you just knew in her face that it wasn't going to be great. Pushing up now, United, showing speed in the midcourt. Oh, wow. Put that on the highlights reel. Leatherbarrow turning outside court, still able to get it through the hoop. Someone's on the ground, and she's up. Burton. Sligo to her sister at the back, able to regather. So we expected them to play a moving circle, but at the moment it's mostly Leatherbarrow doing the heavy lifting.
Yeah, I think if she's putting the shots up, why not? Why not give her the ball?
Woods strong at the back in the air. There's a massive crowd behind us too tonight at the Janae Netball Centre. But it is a sea of orange. Fury definitely, oh, Harrod performing for the crowd. Dunn back to Clifton, they push into the goal third. Castle long with a back drive. Woods has got some strong hands, Maddie.
Yeah, I think it's been a real smart coaching move at North Shore United. They put Donahue back at wing defence and just added some extra height back there again. So it's a bit more of a mismatch at that wing attack, wing defence position.
Harrod again with an intercept, the intercept queen. And here come the Fury, within 7. Riding the wave of noise in here. Sligo with a strong take. It goes through her sister's hands. She's able to regather it despite some physical contact from Castle. And now up the top, they'll settle through. Oh, over the top. There's been much excitement in this game. Burton to Sligo, taking a step back before she takes the shot. Have you had much to do with Nadia McDonald, the coach? No?
No.
Used to be a Swift herself. Coaching currently 3 teams this season, 1 in Premier League and then 1 at her school and another back at her local club.
That's impressive.
And I believe they've all done really well too, so she is a very impressive coach. In speaking with Kat Tetley, the GWS coach, she spoke about Nadia's experience and how she's played something like 25 seasons in a row, a specialist wing defence. And something she mentioned was that every team she coaches just becomes defensively strong. They pressure the pass, they use block drives, and what we mean by that is once they've released the ball, they then step into a space they want to go to next, so they dictate the space. And they never hesitate to come out for a pressure intercept. And Kath pretty much put all that down to basically what Nadia used to do for the Swifts. I think we've seen all of that already out here on show court tonight.
Yeah, I think there's been not only defenders but all over the court, girls coming off their players, having a go, and they've been putting a press on through that mid-court as well, which, yeah, very defensive.
A very physical game, pushing up through the inside channel. Penalty given on the transverse line. Thomas quick to work it to Burton. Leatherbarrow after it, but can't keep it in play, although it looks like it's going to be, yes, a penalty just inside. She's on the baseline now. And she is very accurate. I don't think we've seen her miss a shot yet. Clifton coming back to a United player. And that was too easy for United, who are now in front by 11 goals. They've really put the foot down in this third quarter, Maddie.
I didn't even see the score go up that much.
So the Fury need to inspire their troops somehow, whether it comes through a rebound, a shuffle up in the 7 they've got out on court. As we see some of the officials just shaking their head. They can't believe how crazy this match has been. Step from Castle. Oh, Clifton rather. It'll be United's ball just inside the goal third. Pirates want it back. They come to the edge with Clifton, and she just needed to hang on to the ball that second longer. Leatherbarrow a fair way out. Misses the shot, but on her own rebound. And now she's through. Long ball. Into the pocket. And now Slacker will finish the job. So United have really set the benchmark all year. We mentioned how talented their side is, and they're a combination of trouble for an opposition because they've got great individuals and great connections. And just when you think maybe we'll get some flow coming down the court, one of their attacking players will transition quite quickly from attack to defence and steal the ball. The Sliger's mother in a red top with her camera ready. The intensity's dropped slightly, hasn't it, Maddie?
Yeah, I think United found their rhythm and they're kind of setting the tone for the match now.
Haro to Ockenbaugh. Oh, strong pass. Castle to Clifton. She goes 1-2 with Dunn. Fairway out, long range shot. That's the sort of thing they need to inspire their team, Maddie. And see how packed it is at the Janaea Netball Centre on the show court. And the Opens game happening up on court 1. It's a tight one. Manly Sapphires up by 2, 32-30 over the Stingrays. Donahue to Sliger. A shortening call. Oh, lovely work from Wetstein. Hunting for the ball. Castle goes to Clifton, cutting out the mess. There's a scramble for the ball. Seagulls on a hot chip. And now Dunn mid-range. She'll finish the job. The Fury looking to edge back. 5.5 till the final break in this match. Long ball, but it ends up with Rayleigh. And again, we see Maddie's prediction about the long passes going against Fury's favour. Leatherbarrow far too strong. They need to shut her down.
It's hard when she can shoot from anywhere.
So a player like that, Maddie, as a defender, how do you shut her down? If you know that she's that accurate, she can shoot from all angles of the post. So we see her with another one now.
In an ideal world, get the ball before it can get to her.
That was one of the big things that Kath Tentley mentions, trying to stifle the play before it gets to circle edge. In the air, Parrott comes back to Clifton. Castle studying all her options. Oh, and Woods doing well to keep it in play, just can't hang on to possession. Ockenbaugh coming through the air but doesn't disrupt United. Sliger straight to Leatherbarrow. The ball comes over the back. And Sliger will get an opportunity with a free shot. The intensity that the Fury showed a few plays ago, where they were able to score quick points, seems to sort of ebb and flow. They can't hang on to that momentum and intensity, Maddie.
Yeah, I think they keep relying on moments to kind of bring them back up, but they can't do that, especially in finals.
So Kath Tetley's got a bib and she's heading over to Anna Na to have a little chat. You might see her come on in the final break. Burton with hands on the ball, but it has ended up back with Castle. Although there's a penalty given on the transverse line. Woods jumping out front. Clifton calling for it, says unreliable, but it does end up with United. And hesitation almost is going against the Fury's flavour. Parrott just giving some strong instructions to Clifton, guiding her to come forward. Oh, how well did Ockenbaugh do then to keep it in play and from selling over the sideline? She'll take a penalty. Up and over to Clifton. They swing and they find Woods. That was much smarter play. That's a very curly moustache. I don't know if you just saw that. It's like a Mario one. Here we go, some changes. Flood coming back, the skipper in centre. Anna Naunge coming on in wing defence. It's a fairway out, Slager, but she goes swish, taking United to 43. This is a very high-scoring contest considering we're in the third quarter. And a lot of the under-20s matches will only go to 50 or so goals, Maddie.
Yeah, I'm surprised the scoring's definitely, steamroll since the first quarter, that's for sure, when it was going back and forth without goals.
So we mentioned there's been a drop in intensity, but rather both teams are just starting to show a little bit more composure and control over their possession. An easy feed from Burton into Sligar. She's on fire. Long range, mid range, she can do it all. We see two players warming up for United there, so there may be a change for their shooting ends. Now Unge to Dunn. Thomas pulled out of the circle. This is a good moment for Fury. They can find some space, which they've done before Thomas sets herself up. A minute on the clock. United with a centre pass. Hands from Wetstein, disrupts the play. United with a throw-in on the back line. Slagar, right place, right time for the rebounds. Wetstein pulled out of play. And unfortunately, this match has become quite one-sided now, Maddie.
Yeah, I think we've seen from the GWS side, Woods has had to start coming out of the circle. So I think we need Dunn to get more involved to help him out a bit.
Unge on the edge. She's confident shooting, but it's just about getting that ball in there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit of a struggle for them compared to North Shore, who seem to be finding it a lot easier to get into the circle.
That'll be all she wrote for the third quarter. 45-30, the difference is a massive 15 goals. And the Fury are going to need something really special to come back in this last 15 minutes of play. Don't you dare go anywhere. We'll be back with the final quarter of the Under-20 semi-final in Samsung Premier League. The final 15 minutes of this under-20s Premier League semi-final. United with a massive third quarter, outscoring the Fury 18-10. Over the top. Woods gets back to her best. Pushing the Fury to 31. United pushing up towards their goal third. Up and over, they find Leatherbarrow, and she's not going to miss from there. Far too tall, far too accurate. Coming back to Parrott. Noonge bounces to Flood. On the edge. They find Woods again at the back. Nice and close to the post. So they've stuck with Emily Dunn in that goal attack position, Maddie. Do you think they're just confident that she can get a little bit more ball to Woods like we've seen her do in the last few passages of play?
Yeah, potentially, and I think these guys can match up again later in finals, so I think they can keep trying a few things against them to see what works and what doesn't.
Noonge having to really fight for the ball. Now we've seen a change for GWS in goal defence. We've got Seasons Tudahui Ta'u Awiti on in goal defence now in the orange dress. Up and over, Sliger finds Leatherbarrow. She's such a smart player because you could see that Leatherbarrow really had to put her arms out for that ball then, but she's almost creating play and making things happen, isn't she?
Yeah, I think with her height and the fact that she can move as well, she's a good asset to have on the team.
Oh, ball comes over Burton's head and it ends up with Flood. There's been two changes for United too. They've got Sophie Dixon on in goal attack now, and they've also got Sophie Elliott in wing defence. As both players hit the deck in the centre position. Dixon has no option, so she decides to go. Oh, what a beautiful shot. Geez, that'll give us some confidence for the rest of this final 15, Maddie.
Yeah, it was a long shot to take for her first one, I think, as well.
And she's won the ball back here. Throw-in going Fury's way. Lovely work from Burton, putting her body on the line. An ACT under-19s player. Coming back over the top, they find Leatherbarrow at the back. Easy pass inside. Dixon unable to sink this long shot, but she'll get another chance. And this time, the penalty's good. One of the big things that Nadia McDonald spoke about before this game, Maddie, was that United are creating over 30 turnovers a game. So they're really happy with that, but they really needed to work on their conversions. But I think we've really seen them take the upper hand. I mean, obviously the first quarter was very hectic for all involved. But certainly they've been able to convert a lot of ball that hasn't been theirs to get to 51.
I think their transition's been pretty solid, going all the way from the back lines, especially after the first quarter.
Yeah, that was crazy. Leatherbarrow surviving some contact from Seasons. And she is just so cool, calm, collected at the back. Can you believe she's just 16 years old?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive to play under 20s and opens.
Elliott knows she's put a foot out and given the ball to Fury through mistake. Parrott with the throw in. She has to come back to her keeper. Although time is held. 3 seconds is up. And Elliott, who made the mistake originally, will take the throw in. Good ball up in the air. Sligo goes over the top of Sophie Dixon. We just have seen some passes from them that haven't been quite right, but I think because they've been able to convert so much ball, they've been really lucky that the mistakes haven't mattered so much, Maddie.
Yeah, the score was definitely not showing what a tight contest it looks like. It's out there.
Certainly, if you weren't looking up at the scoreboard, you probably wouldn't be able to tell United are so far up in front. 19 goals different now. Naunge stuck for an option, regathers. Lucky there was no replay called. Flood ends up with it, and she can't get past the hands of Sligo. Or can she? Something's been caught up inside the circle here. Dunn will take... Someone must have been offside. A free pass for Fury. It ends up with their strong target shooter, Woods, at the back. We've got so many Fury fans here tonight in orange, but the clapping is a little bit half-hearted, isn't it, Maddie?
Yeah, I think when you're down by this much, it's hard for the crowd to get involved. If it was a bit closer, I think they definitely could have helped and put some more pressure onto United.
Well, with just under 9 minutes left to play in this semi-final, it certainly looks like United are going to take out this game and take a week off. We're not going to write off the Fury yet. So we see Naunge with a very loopy pass around the back of her player. Flood feeds into Dunn, and she goes straight through. A little bub up the back. Maybe a netballer one day. Fury come back from the centre pass. Season's taking the penalty. Goes to the skipper. In the air, Dunn goes 1-2 with Flood. Dunn with a good run from the back to front cut. And she is in a streak of form. Has there been anyone else that's impressed you tonight, Maddie, in this game?
I think Parrott has been awesome. She's been contesting so much and she's got a fair bit of ball back at that wing defence position, which isn't always the case.
United bench very passionate. Dunn, pass over the head, goes to Flood, and they come back through the hands of Parrott. Umpires called something up earlier. Flood straight to the shooter. The umpire's holding time so that Rayleigh can move up and take the penalty pass. Ball comes off the hands of Naunge, but still ends up with the United player. And United just far too strong. That looks like another Ward sister in the crowd. Burton to Sligo, beautiful in the air. Two changes. Woods and Dunn coming off for a rest. So Chantel Gaston's come on in goal attack. And Kasia Cignetti in goal shooter. What do you think was the point of that change?
I think it's good to give all players a go in finals and see who steps up and see who can kind of withstand the pressure of finals, because they might be needed in future games, we don't know.
So their coach, Kath Tetley, taking an opportunity to get them out on court as the ball comes towards us. And the call goes against United. Wetstein very eager to take the pass. Seasons straight through the middle on diagonal. Naunge just goes over the top to Flood. Quick work. Ball sails over the back line, opportunity wasted. So the pressure really getting to Fury here. And I think they might just be looking up at the scoreboard a little bit too much, Maddie. Do you think they realise they're down by so far?
I think so. I feel like they'd be feeling it out on court, especially the defenders. I feel like they're defending most of the time.
Coming through, Burton for the centre pass. Gives it to Dixon. Inside, they find Leatherbarrow. And she is far too good. She needs to be signed up to a Super Netball franchise very soon. Lock that down. Naunge out for Fury's centre pass. Gaston going straight to the other shooter. But there is a step, an obvious one. And unfortunately, sometimes when you come in the back end of a game, there's so much pressure to perform that the nerves get the better of you, Maddie.
Yeah, I think you end up trying to do too much, which means you don't end up doing anything.
Parrott to Flood, who goes long to Moonga. Rayleigh picking up the ball for United. Oh, but Moonga just says to Slugger, get out of my way. Steals the ball back with some strong body position. And now Gaston, not confident to take the shot, looks left, looks right. Does draw a penalty. Chignetti finishing the job. The difference, 20. Still plenty of mistakes happening in United's camp, Maddie. They'll really need to tighten that up when they head towards the grand final.
Yeah, I think when you're up by 20, you do try a few things and let the longer ones go, but I guess you can afford that when you're up by this much.
You've got more flexibility, right? Long into the mid-court. Seasons keeps the trend going. They come back to the transverse line and Naunge just goes over the top to the skipper. Instead, the ball ends up with Rayleigh, who has been good at the back, but most of the ball she's been given straight to her, as we see the same thing, end-to-end keeping. Gaston going laterally to the skipper. Flood back to Naunge. Around the body, Gaston, Flood, down below, and now looking to go to the post. Chignetti can't get the job done. Nice work by Thomas, just keeping her out from the rebounds. Strong pass. They take one to get out of the midcourt. Dixon keeping the ball in play. They've found Leatherbarrow just at the top of the circle. Ball pops off the top. Dixon keeps it in play. Ends up with Wetstein through the hands of Parrott. Back to Burton. And now United here with a nice, keen chance at goal. And that's been the real difference, hasn't it, Maddie? When United have lost the play, they've usually been able to get it back in second phase play somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I think the loose balls seem to be falling United's way tonight as well.
58-37, the difference 21. Chignetti at the back, all alone in space. She finds Gaston, who looks confident, and the crowd goes wild for her. That's nice, giving her some confidence. Stepping call against United. Fury go over the top of the defence. They come back. Flood with a penalty, top of the circle. Again, feeding low. Gaston misses the shot. Chignetti can't get it, third time lucky. Thomas, strong ball, gives it straight back to the Fury. To the pocket. A hand from Thomas says no way, but they do get it back to Cignetti. And there's just so much unrest happening in this circle, a lot of nerves. That with 34 seconds on the clock, we see the Fury hit 39 with a centre up their sleeve. Can they go back to back? They're forced all the way back to Parrott, who has to do wonders in the air to keep the ball within possession. Over the top, in front, Cignetti comes back to Flood. Gustin, mid-range, misses the shot. Her partner in crime right underneath it. And they've missed again, unfortunately. 4 seconds left. United keen to score. Leatherbarrow's got it. 1 second on the clock. Oh my goodness, goal does not count. But what a beautiful way to finish this under-20s semi-final in the 2018 Samsung Premier League. And G United must be excited about the way they played tonight, Maddie.
I think they get the week off now, which is cool, and straight to the grand final.
The Fury plenty to work on between now and next week. What would your advice be to them?
I think they need to just work on settling their nerves a bit faster, because if they can get through next week and, I don't know, settle quickly, they'll be hard to beat, I think, if United are that nervous again.
All right, well, we're going to wrap this up in front of the camera and we'll grab a United player. So stick with us. Interview to come. Keep watching Bar TV. All right, so the minor premiers in North Shore United under-20s have got a win tonight in the semi-final, and it means they get a week off. Eliza Burton is joining us, an ACT Under-19s representative. Are you happy with the win?
Yeah, definitely. That was our main focus for today, just to come together and push through. We've been lapsing throughout quarters, so that was our main focus, and I think we really pulled it together this game, yeah.
And Maddie, you really spoke about the dynamic and the fast pace of their mid-court and how they were able to convert a lot of ball despite throwing away a few mistakes.
Yeah, definitely think you found your flow towards the end. What do you do without the game next week to kind of keep that going for the grand final?
Yeah, definitely. I think there was talk about if we made it through, if we were going to make it through, having a match on the Wednesday just to keep that up and keep the consistency and not lapse, I guess, and just keep practicing, yeah.
Now tell me about these two sets of sisters you got in your side, because you got the twins and the Slagers and you've got the Wards. Do you think that helps in a way? They must be doing extra practice at home, surely.
Yeah, no, it definitely helps. Their connection, especially in the attack end between Nat and Amy, is amazing. So I think that really helps, and I think it connects the whole team. I guess we're all bond together, and I guess that helps with the sisters as well, yeah.
Now the third quarter was where you were most strong. You ran away in that one 18-10, and I think that was where we saw GWS sort of put their heads down, look up at the score, and United just keep the throttle going, Maddie.
Yeah, it was really good how you ran away with it. Do you think the changes at halftime affected that, or...?
Yeah, I think it was the set of fresh legs on court that helped that. I think they brought a new energy to the game, and I think that really helped us, and I think we all just kept pushing, and that was our main focus for that quarter.
Well, congratulations. Go and celebrate with your team.
Thank you.
And we look forward to seeing you in the grand final in 2 weeks' time. Coming up on Bar TV, we now have the Opens major semi-final between Central Coast Heart and the Eastwood Ride Hawks. There'll be no Maria Folau tonight, so sorry about that, we can't deliver. But stick with us, 8:40 that game will start, and we look forward to bringing it to you on Bar TV.